Lakshmi, are you celebrating? Because for a debt AMC, nothing could be better than a declining yield because there's huge trading profits to be made. And we're going to see money coming in because in the search for yields, where else will they go if not to India? We've never defaulted on our debt. So where else will they go? But is that short-term view, that rosy view, in fact, will it work to our medium-term to long-term detriment? Lakshmi?
True. So let me begin with taking cue from what you mentioned. You spoke about champagne, and champagne obviously is synonymous with a party. So Cinderella had party shoes, and she had a cut-off time for a party, and it was midnight at the stroke of 12. I think for the bond markets right now, it is a party with no timeline specifically in place, largely because of the kind of liquidity that is sloshing around in the system is absolutely obscene. And specifically, if I talk about India, and you just observed it a minute back, that the kind of absolute yields that we are witnessing in India is one of the highest available in the world today. So I think if you kind of blend these two things together, there is a clear case even from a short term to a medium term perspective, but more specifically the fundamental question or the $1,000,000 question that people ask, that is this like a one night stance where you just kind of party and then once the hangover is out you actually start seeing yields head upwards. We don't think that that's the scenario. So we are in here for a slightly more durable kind of a rate experience, and I think markets are just kind of reflecting the sentiment right now.
So you don't see Cinderella's stagecoach turning into a pumpkin as it did in the story anytime soon. What is your estimate? 6 months, 1 year? Because fact is that the US fundamentals have improved quite dramatically. In fact, I'm a little surprised that most people seem to think that the US Fed's statement was hawkish because frankly they talked about of an improvement in the US economy, which seems to suggest that their rate hike is on the cards. And though we just heard Chris Woods talk about the political imperatives or why there should not be a rate hike and there may not be a rate hike, the fact is the Fed has always been very proud of the fact that it's independent of political influences. And so one cannot rule out a rate hike, in which case we might see this money that is sloshing in today reverse because portfolio investors are easy come easy go. So do you see that happening at all within the next 6 months, or do you think we have a longer time to kind of be indulgent, quote unquote?
So basically, if you see the stance of the FOMC, if bulk of the market perceived it to be hawkish, at least the yields in the US are giving a very different indication. We actually saw yields softening across, and even more relevant, if I would like to bring to your notice, is the fact that gold prices ever since the FOMC have been fairly supportive. Typically what happens if there is a perception that the Fed has been a little bit hawkish, gold actually tends to recede in value, which is not really the case right now. So again, if you join these two things together as form of a jigsaw puzzle, it's quite evident that even if the US were to hike rates I say once before November, which is when we go into the US presidential election, is it tightening or is it a normalization stance? It's like, are you going to go onto a crash diet or you're going to moderate your intake of food? We believe it is more like a moderation in intake and not really a crash course dieting kind of a thing. So therefore, the impact of that is not likely to be very detrimental to India as a market, number one. Number two is that even if there is 125 basis point rate hike in the US, look at the gap between the Indian 10-year or the Indian yields vis-a-vis the US 10-year or the US yields. I mean, the gap has been at one of the highest ever that we are witnessing, close to about 6%. Whereas if you see the long-term average of about 12 to 15 years, it's been in the band of about 4 to 4.25%. And we have anecdotal evidence in the past when the US was actually hiking interest rates, the Indian repo rate stood kind of bad. We didn't kind of move an L at all. So I think broadly we are noticing the global cues, but I think it's too soon to call it a day saying that, oh, US is going to hike rates, so it's going to be the end of the world. I don't think it's that going to be, that kind of a scenario, because data points continue to remain a little bit puzzling. So yes, labor data has been fantastic, but then there have been pockets of aberration in the US data, which I think the Fed will clearly take into cognizance before deciding for or against a rate hike.
From a market standpoint, is that a key a key mover for sentiment, so to speak, right now for the immediate term as well? I mean, look at the way bond markets are rallying, the currency is rallying. I know part of the story is linked to what's happening with global markets. I understand that, Lakshmi, but there's also an absolute story in India which is working for the local markets here.
That's true. I agree with you completely, and both these factors are very relevant. The way we look at it is like this, and I'd like to just take an illustration to clarify this point. If your child is moving from, say, an SSE board to an ICSE board, or say an IGCSE board, it's a change of curriculum. So obviously there could be some sort of a teething trouble, but if it's just a change of school, so one ICSE board to another ICSE board, but just a change in school, then the tendency of teething trouble is much lower. The intensity is much lower. I think that's how the markets would likely take the change in the governor. Our governor has done a fantastic job so far, and therefore the person who takes on the mantle would obviously have kind of already have a raised bar, but notwithstanding the near term I would say teething trouble, what's very critical for the markets are, apart from the global factors, to see how the macro India really pans out. And I think on all those accounts right now, currently we are, I would not say a 10 on 10, but almost near a 10. So I think that would be the likely long-term driver, not so much as to, okay, will we see a rate cut on August 9th or immediately after that, because rate cut is just one of the, I would say, a necessary ingredient. It's not like a sufficient ingredient. So I think it's a salt or a sweetener that's kind of required, whether you're preparing a dessert or like a main dish. That's what is very, very critical. But is that the lack of it does not make the market or the appetizer good enough? The answer is probably not.
Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/ETNow, and don't forget to click the like button. You can also follow us on Twitter at ETNowLive. To stay updated with all our programming, hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel by logging on to youtube.com/user/ETNow.